All right, heading into the final weekend of the BNP Paribas Open, let's get right to the Tennis Channel with all today's quarter and semifinal results.
The 2017 edition of the BNP Paribas Open reaches its climax in the California desert. Hey guys, Tennis Channel's Jonathan Novak with another special update for KMIR. Jack Sock is enjoying life in 2017. The American has won 2 titles already this year. Friday, he faced Kei Nishikori for a place in the Final Four at Indian Wells. It may have taken the Nebraska native 3 sets to get past the number 4 seed, but make no mistake, this was the biggest win of his singles career. Sock closed out the Japanese number 1 in some style, 6-2 in the deciding set to reach his first ever semifinal at an ATP Masters event. The win also handed him his maiden victory over a top 5 opponent. He'll face Roger Federer for a place in the final after Nick Kyrgios pulled out of a semi against the Swiss star with food poisoning. In a statement, the Aussie apologized to fans, saying it wasn't an easy decision to make and that he'll definitely be back in the California desert. Federer, as you'd expect, took the surprising news in stride.
A year ago, I was in Miami feeling sick and couldn't play against Del Potro, so I think when you're injured it's easier almost because it's just not, you know you can't play, whereas when you're sick you might feel like you could, but it's tough for the player and it's tough for the fans, it's tough for the opponent. I mean, I'm the last guy complaining because I'm moving on, but overall it's a tricky situation.
Elsewhere, Elena Vesnina continued her excellent run of good form with a victory over Kristina Mladenovic to book her place in the women's final. The Russian played the kind of tennis that saw her take out Venus Williams in the quarters. Vesnina had never previously been past the 3rd round at Indian Wells. It's good stuff. Don't forget, TC Plus and Tennis Channel's live coverage from Indian Wells continues Saturday with both doubles finals. It all starts at 4 p.m. I'm Jonathan Novak.
All right, once again, here's checking the scoreboard. Roger Federer had a walkover again with the Kyrgios withdrawal. Jack Sock knocked off Kei Nishikori 6-3, 2-6, 6-2. Tennis Channel's been bringing us our highlights for the past 2 weeks, and of course they're out here every year. Today we spoke with the president of Tennis Channel, who just happens to be a Palm Springs native.
This is my hometown event. I grew up ball boying at the first iteration of this tournament, which was the American Airlines Tennis Games over at Mission Hills, just around the corner. You know, with Charlie Passerelle, and back then Dennis Ralston was our Davis Cup coach, and Tommy Tucker, and Raymond Moore, and all of them. And the history, for me, of having been a ball boy on those courts and having it move to this event is, I really feel like it's a familial thing. And so it was very special for us when we were able to build the Tennis Channel and into what it's become today. It is the fastest growing network in the United States, period, bar none, sports or entertainment.
Now, when you sit home and you watch your coverage on TV and you see this backdrop that we have here, how do you feel?
It's a great question. I actually was out here just before we actually loaded in the set, wandering the grounds, just kind of seeing how everything was coming along. And though I could envision it and we had the plans, I was really anxious to see how it was going to look. And then when I happened to be in Los Angeles for the opening first day, I would bounce back and then came back out. And I literally gasped. It was so beautiful. It was so crystal clear, seeing those people out there and seeing everything that's been done on the grounds. It was just fantastic.
Well, you talked about Mr. Ellison and the growth of this tournament. The city's told us they've already approved Stadium 3. They've already approved a museum. Nobody knows for sure when he's going to do it, but it just seems like the growth is not stopping anytime soon.
No, I mean, I think it's parallels tennis, and the beauty is that the resources are here to fulfill the demand and create demand. And I think that's a big part of what we do at Tennis Channel. I think everybody else in the broadcast business historically has looked to fulfill what they thought was the demand level for tennis, which used to be 2 weekends and maybe a couple of matches during the week. We found that a 24/7 channel wasn't even enough, that we're on multiple platforms, and the more we give people, the more they want, because this sport is so prolific.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Ken Solomon for sitting down with us and for all the great work the Tennis Channel has done with KMIR to bring you the best possible coverage of this amazing event. You want to watch tennis? Watch it on the Tennis Channel. Spectrum 406, Frontier 592, Dish 400, DirecTV Channel 217. Well, sun is the name of the game here in the Coachella Valley. We're certainly getting plenty of that, but